Okay, we're back. We're back live. I don't know what happened there. Okay, we're going to start with, we're gonna just go into some balancing poses there from the flow. So let's come to the top of the mat and try this again. Okay, we're gonna start in eagle pose. So at the top of the mat, you're going to bring your knees together, your feet hip distance apart. We're gonna sink into like a chair pose. So hands at your heart here. So let's bring that right leg over the left leg. Cross it over, holding. Now you can take your arms out. The left arm is going to go over top of the right arm. And we're going to hold that. All right, so holding eagle, lifting up through the elbows, pulling the shoulders down and back. Breathing. Take another deep breath here. We're going to move into a sequence. We're going to let go of that leg. We're going to kick the right leg back. Hold your eagle arms. Keep holding. Reach out with the arms now. Find airplane pose. Reach out, both directions. Another deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down. Down to the floor and drop your head down. You're in standing split position. Deep breath in and then take a halfway lift. So come up onto the fingertips. Try to get length into your back and we're going to go right into half moon. Take that right arm up towards the ceiling. If this is too much, you can bring that back foot onto the floor. You can just kind of test it out. Come out of the pose, drop back into the pose. And then release your right arm back to the floor. You're back into standing split and then step back. Drop your right knee to the floor. Take the arms up to the ceiling. Deep breath in, bring the hands to your heart. Deep breath in here and then exhale, twist to your left. Right elbow onto the left knee. So stay here. If you want to, lift up your back knee into the high lunge. Go ahead. Sorry, I can't read any of your comments here from far away, but I hope that you're still joining me here. Technology. Hi. Okay, so we're going to release out of that pose. We're going to bring the hands to the floor and then bring the left leg back. Left leg's going to do a sweep under again. So kicking it over to the right. Right arm's going to reach up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, and now we're going to take it down. Try to still lift up through that left leg now. I'm going to take you into a split. So we're going over to the left side split, plank split. Hold that. Okay, if you're feeling really burly right now, lean over to the right side and lift your left foot off the floor. Hold that. 3, 2, 1. Kick it back, plank, lower through. Chaturanga. Bring it into an up dog. Bring it back into down dog. Breathe it out. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. 2 more. Bend into a knees. Look forward and step or jump up to the hands. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold, and inhale. Come up all the way, deep breath in. Exhale and release. We're going to the other side for eagle pose. Let's bring the feet together again. Drop down. Okay, balancing on the right leg. Left leg over the right. Arms out. Right arm over top of the left arm. By the way, you can also hug those shoulders. You got two super tight shoulders right now with traps. This could be your pose tonight. Otherwise, arms straight, lifting up and holding. Pulling the hips back. Trying to hold that. 1 more breath. Okay, keep your arms. Release your left leg back. Holding, holding. Airplane, let the arms go, holding that. Reach out through the arms, Lift your chest forward. Try to keep lifting forward into this pose as best as you can. Engaging core. Okay, so we're dropping forward into a standing split. Your fingertips just touch the floor. You can kind of relax down for a moment, and then we'll come up halfway. So lift chest forward again. Half moon. The left arm is going to lift. The left leg's going to lift. Continue to lift. And we're reaching up. Another kind of burly move you want to try. You're taking your right fingertips off the floor and just trying to hold that. So again, just kind of a little test. You can try check in your stabilizer muscles. Probably just freaking out right now. Ankles freaking out. It's all good. Bring it back down. Bring the left hand to the floor, back into standing split pose, and then step back. Okay, so your left knees to the floor, your right legs forward, reaching up. Let's go into a twist and hands to the heart. So a deep breath in, again, length through the spine here, and exhale over to the other side. To the right, and like in our chair pose, you're trying to bring the chest to the thumbs. So pressing down into the right leg. So another kind of common thing I see is this position where you're just kind of really scrunched in the pose. But a way to do that, just get out of that could be tight shoulders. You can just bring one elbow. You can just release that arm down, and that could open up, that could fix that position if this is not working for you. Back leg can be lifted up as well. But try to lift out of the position is what I'm saying here. So you'll get that twist right into your hip flexors as well. So cross the abdominal. We're gonna release out of the twist. Okay, bring the hands to the floor. Right leg's gonna kick back. Right leg's gonna kick underneath the left. And you're in the split side plank, the split legs, floaty leg, bottom leg. Come around, back into plank pose. Take that right leg out to the right for split plank. So this could be just a stretch as well. You can just hold that. Again, for a more burly move, you're leaning just slightly to the left so that you can hover. Right leg, super hard to talk right now. 2, 1, float it back, lower, up dog, inhale, exhale, child's pose. Breathe it out here. All right, 2 more deep breaths. 2 more. Okay, so we'll come up to a tabletop position. Just gonna do a little bit of floor balancing stuff. So we'll take the right leg back, left shin off to the left. So just like at the beginning of the class, we're kind of doing the side plank position. Bend into your right knee, catch the top of the foot. Stretching out the quadriceps, stretching out the hip flexor. Roll the right shoulder back. Push your chest out, your belly out. Maybe looking up at the ceiling. Breathe. If you want a little more activation, you can kind of push your foot into your hand, but your hand is kind of stopping that. So you're just kind of activating some muscles, just contracting the muscles for 5 seconds or so, and then releasing that. And then you can kind of press again for another 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and then release that. Just helping the muscle, that quadricep muscle, relax a little bit more. Okay, release the foot. Come around, back into tabletop pose. Switch sides, the left leg's gonna come back. The right shin is off to the right, and up you go. Bend into the knee, catch your foot. Open the knee, open the hip. Roll the shoulder. Breathe. So same thing here. If you want to activate this pose a little bit more, kind of push your hand or foot into your hand, but your hand is stopping your foot. A little PNF contraction. So holding a contraction for about 3 seconds, And then releasing that contraction. It's really subtle. You can't even really see it, but it kind of helps relax that quadricep muscle. So another deep breath in here, and then relaxing. Let go of the foot. Come back around, back to tabletop pose. Tuck toes under. Come up into downward facing dog. Come forward into plank pose. Come back into downward facing dog. Come forward into plank pose. And one more time. Come back into downward facing dog. Come forward into plank pose. Drop the forearms to the floor. And then start walking your feet to your hand or to your elbows. So you're in a dolphin plank position. In dolphin plank, push back through your heels. Lift up your knees. Reach the chest to the thighs. One more breath. And release the knees down to the floor. Walk your hands up, walking up onto the knees, shins, and then coming back into camel pose. In any variation here, I will show you reaching up with both arms. This could be your camel pose tonight. Your toes can be untucked or tucked under. Your hands can come back onto your low back. If you just want to take it easy tonight, just supported back, or hands to hamstrings, a little bit lower, hands to heels, and squeezing back. Push your hips forward, lift your chest, squeezing the glutes. Okay, 2 more deep breaths here. To come out of the pose, you're lifting up through the heart, and coming out of that pose. Right forward, bring the forearms to the floor, and just moving around in the mini cat pose. Mini cat, moving around the spiral, circle motion, shaking out that low back. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Pull back, pull forward. And we'll loosen up the shoulders, loosening up the back. Alright, come on up. Back into tabletop position. Right arm reaches out to the right, deep breath in. Take that right arm underneath the left shoulder to the floor, head to the floor. Left leg's gonna lift if you want to. Left arm's gonna lift if you want to. Otherwise, hand to the floor, knee down to the floor, and you're just twisting. Pushing into the right forearm, hand here to keep that balance. Take another deep breath. In, deep breath out, hand to the floor. Keep the upper leg lifting. So that left leg, try to keep it lifting here. And then we'll just try something else. Bring the right forearm onto the floor. Right elbow is in the same line as your left hand. So check it out, look down, check it out. Same line as your left hand. Your right toes tuck under at this point, and then you're going to lean forward so you can push into your forearm and push into your right toes at the same time. Pop up, and then your body just naturally wants to open there. Maybe your knee just naturally wants to bend that left side. Looking to the left, head's dropping down. Try to hold that, keep pushing into your right forearm. Take another deep breath. And exhale. Release. Okay, come back onto your hands and knees, or onto your knees and shins. Come into reclined hero's pose. So you can lean back like this. Unless you have issues with your knee flexion, then you can just come back and just do an easy camel pose, modified camel pose. Otherwise, reclined heroes, taking your hands back behind you, opening the heart. Breathe into the front body, squeeze your shoulders back, take another deep breath in, and lift forward, come out of that position, back into tabletop pose, switch sides. The left arm's gonna open up, so take it open or up first, then take it under, thread the needle, bring the left shoulder to the floor, Bring the head to the floor and bring your right leg, lift your right leg up if you want, or your right arm up, or both arm and leg up. Some fancy pose. You can grab onto the top of your foot and stretch your quad and try and balance there. You're at home, no one's watching. Go ahead and do it. If you fall, no one will laugh. Take another deep breath here, wherever you're at. All right, bring your hand to the floor. And come on, keep your top leg lifting, which is your right leg. Keep it up. Bring your left forearm onto the floor. The left elbow is going to be in line with your right hand. Okay, here we go. So you're going to engage, tuck your back toes under, lean forward into that left arm, push like you're doing a push-up, and lift up to the sky. Open that hip, look to the right, heads down, breathe. This is a pose that may look like it's tricky, but it feels really solid when you've got all your points balanced here. You're pushing through your hand, you're pushing through your forearm, you're pushing through your left leg. No different than a three-legged down dog. Actually feels even more solid. Bring it back onto the floor. Back you go into your camel, modified camel, or reclined heroes. Breathe it out. Pull the shoulders back. Take another inhale in. Exhale forward. Release. Hands in front of you, back into downward facing dog. Walk it out. All right. So we're just gonna walk it out for a quick moment here. Last down dog of the class, and we're coming up to the end. And that's cool down. So we're going to, from here, come onto the floor. So you drop your knees, swing your legs around. Okay, so we're going to go into a 90 position or a pinwheel position. I'm just going to face the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. Your right shin is forward, your left shin is back, or your knee is bent back, left knee is bent back behind you. Ideally, both legs at a 90 position. So front shin parallel with the top of your mat, just so you can see the alignment. And we're going to start. You can use your hands on the ground wherever you need to. Lean forward. Your hands can be in front of you. Try not to just kind of sink or drop your head into the pose. Try to lift your chest forward and try to keep almost pulling your hips back in this position as well. And then walk yourself up. Take the left arm over to the left side, and your right arm's going to reach up. So you're opening that right side of the body. Breathing deep here. And then releasing that into twist. Take your left hand onto your right knee. Look over the right shoulder. Staying tall, breathing. Inhale in, exhale out, come forward again. So again, just prep yourself to stay tall, and then we'll round in a moment here, but try to lift tall without rounding your spine. Kind of lift your chest forward by keeping your hips grounded to the floor. Long spine. So you should feel the stretch in your right glute at that point as you lift forward. So you don't really want to get into the spine at this point. Whenever you start rounding the spine, then your spine usually kind of takes over, and you kind of lose the hip stretch, which is what we want in this. We want the hip flexor, we want the glutes. So at this point, you can drop even further down if you like, and round the spine, bring your chest closer to the shin. Maybe your forehead drops to the floor. Just kind of depending on where you're at tonight. And breathing. So just long deep breaths, maybe letting your eyes close. You're trying to relax as best as you can here. Breathing into your back. You want to feel like your belly, your belly breathing, so you can feel your belly rise and fill up on your inhale, exhale, totally deflating. And then slowly start to walk up. Okay, so we're going to switch the position. So just rock back, your hands can come back behind you. Switch the pose around so that your left shin is forward and your right knee is bent back behind you in a 90 position. Starting by walking yourself forward and just gently coming forward, just kind of seeing how this pose feels. By the way, you can also kind of move over to the side and different angles. One side of the hip might feel different than the other, so feel free to kind of explore while you're in this position. Keeping that long spine. And then lift out. Let's side bend. Take your right arm over to the right this time. Just fingertips to the floor, and you're lifting that left arm overhead. So you might be looking at the left side. If it feels too awkward, you're just looking down, maybe even at your right shoulder there. All right, and then releasing out, and let's twist. Take your right hand to the left knee. Look over the shoulder. And then let that go. Okay, one more hold in the forward folding position, but keeping the flat back at first, and then just walking your hands forward as far as you need to. Breathing. Notice how this side differs from the other side. Just bring that awareness back into the body. Okay, you can go ahead and go to your fullest range of motion and incorporating your spine into the pose and breathing deep. Take another deep breath in, deep breath out. Oh, walk yourself back up. Alright, okay. So we're going to release out of that pose and just come back into a Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet will be together here. Actually, just leave the hands back behind you. And just with the energy and the muscles you have in your legs, we're just going to think about dropping the knees down in this position. So kind of a little bit of maybe a little bit of extension through the spine, trying to just mostly lift up tall in the pose, taking a little bit of weight out of the seat, and thinking with the knees drawing downward, soles of the feet opening, holding for 3, 2, and then for 1, letting that go, and bringing the feet to the floor and moving into a reverse tabletop position. So either fingertips pointing forward or to the side. Up you go. Pushing through the feet, lift up through the hips, squeeze your glutes. Head can drop back. And your glutes are engaged, low back engaged in this pose. Knees reaching forward. Take another inhale. Exhale, release down. All right, let's go down onto the back. Make sure there's space back behind you. Grab onto the backs of the knees. Tuck your chin. Inhale. Roll back. Exhale. Roll forward. You're going to roll right up onto your tailbone, sit bones if you want, or you're just doing a little range of motion to low back to upper back, low back to upper back, back and forth. So whatever feels good. In the massaging action, trying to stay relaxed in the spine so that you can really kind of get into the muscles there. Okay, 5 or 6 of those, and then back into happy baby pose. So in happy baby pose, you're grabbing onto your knees, your shins, hook onto your big toes with your peace sign fingers. Knees are going to be wide. Try to drop your tailbone down to the floor, your low back down to the floor, in this position. Rocking side to side if it feels good, usually it does, and some deep breaths out through the mouth, out through the nose. Sighs out through the mouth, out through the nose. Perhaps closing your eyes. Okay, we will do a short Shavasana, even though it's a live class. I'm just going to add it on anyways here. If you're still with me, you can kind of relax here, and I can guide you through it as you just listen to the sound of my voice. Don't even have to look at the screen at all. So you're in happy baby pose, still rocking side to side. Okay, we're going to take a hold of the right knee. Straighten your left leg out and down onto the floor. So relaxing it down. If this feels like it's too uncomfortable, then you can bend into your left knee, but otherwise you're just on the floor. You're squeezing your right knee in towards your chest, in towards your belly, and holding. Breathing. Breathing into the hip. Alright, now straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling and flexing the foot, so reaching through the heel, grabbing behind the legs. We're on the hamstrings, or one hand grabbing onto the toe, your right toe, one hand behind the leg. So should feel the stretch in the hamstrings. The more you have that leg straight, of course, the more intense you will feel it. And if you need to, bend to the left knee to make this more comfortable for yourself. So just take another deep breath in here. And your exhale, releasing, bending to the knee, right knee again. Give it another squeeze in towards your center, and then guide your right knee over to the left side. So ideally, guiding it right down, maybe it's touching the floor, just above the floor, and keeping your left hand on the side of the knee. Reaching out with your right arm. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out here, letting your right shoulder relax and sink down to the floor. And then slowly release, come back out of that pose. Gather in both knees in towards your center, squeeze in. Head can be down or up, and then release your head to the floor and take your left knee, and this time squeeze it in to your center. So squeeze, reach your right leg away. Breathe. Okay, let's take that left leg up. Straighten it up, stretching the hamstrings, hands behind the leg for support, or hooking onto the big toe with your hands, or hooking onto the big toe with your peace sign fingers. Whatever's going to help you flex your left foot. The more flex if it is in flex position, the more you'll get your calves engaged or stretched out in the pose, as well as hamstrings. So letting that go, bend into the knee again. Give it a squeeze back into the chest. Guide the left leg, knee, over to the right side. Keep the right hand on top of the knee, side of the knee, IT band in that area. And you're just helping that knee, or helping the hip kind of stretch over, and you get a nice stretch to the low back as well as the left shoulder. Attention back to your breath. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, and then release. Coming back to center. Gather the knees up again. Squeeze yourself in. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Bring the feet to the floor. Feet are wide, arms out wide. Let's do some windshield wipers and prep for Shavasana. Eyes closed or relaxed. Knees moving left and then right again in a slow fashion here, relaxing the glutes. Begin to feel like you're just getting lazier and lazier basically every exhale you take. Arms are heavy. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Alright, so just begin to feel like your feet are really relaxed and edges to the arch, outer edges to the inner arches of your feet. Relax them and then begin to come to a still position, knees bent. Feel free to stay there with the knees bent. And then feel free to move into Shavasana. Straighten one leg at a time. Bring the arms alongside your body. Take any other position that you feel like taking at this moment. Feel free to skip out of Shavasana if you got stuff to do. That is fine. Otherwise, stick with me and move through relaxation. And if you fall asleep, I'm just not going to wake you up. That's the bonus of the live class. You just stay sleeping. Okay, so our feet open to the sides. Palms are facing open to the ceiling too. So just check in with those shoulders. See if you can pull them down even more. You can lift them up and then drop them back down to the floor. So feeling all the contact points of your back body and the floor and the mat. Notice the temperature or the cooler temperature of the floor versus the mat. Notice the texture of the floor versus the mat, whatever you're on here, carpet, tile, whatever you're on. Just noticing and moving on. So you're getting that out of the way. Bring your attention back to your breath. So notice your belly rising from deep down. So think about aiming low, breathing into your hips even. Deep breath in, ballooning up. Feel the lungs. Deep breaths out. Emptying the lungs, emptying the belly. Feel the low back pull into the floor. Feel the backs of the arms pull into the floor. And again, another deep breath in. Feeling the left side and right side of your body, feeling your belly and filling your lungs. Deep breaths out. Deep breath out, completely emptying your lungs, completely emptying your belly, feeling the low back pull into the floor, feeling the backs of your legs pull into the floor. Begin sinking further through the heels, backs of the legs, the calves, backs of knees, backs of thighs, fronts of thighs, the kneecaps, the shins, tops of the feet, the soles of the feet. Relax completely through your right leg and your left leg. Breathe. Notice your low back relaxing, your mid back sinking down along with your upper back, shoulder blades melting into the floor along with the tops of the shoulders, backs of arms, forearms, and backs of hands. Completely relax your right arm and your left arm. Breathe. Relaxing through the sides of your neck, back of neck and head. Relax through your forehead, all the muscles around your eyes, eyelids. Relax your cheeks, your mouth, the jaw, the tongue in your mouth. Relax even your teeth. Breathe. Notice the sound of your breath. Notice the air moving in through your nostrils, entering the lungs, entering the belly. Notice the breath leaving out again through the nostrils. Notice your body sinking with the exhale, relaxing. Begin to soften your throat, your collarbones, your chest, your abdomen. Breathing, feeling your whole body breathing together and your whole body relaxing together. So very slowly becoming more awake. Bringing some sound back into your breath. A little bit of movement through the hands and through your feet. Maybe rocking the head from side to side. Okay, and if you are still with me, just moving around. Otherwise, feel free to keep staying in Shavasana as long as your body needs to stay in Shavasana. It's been a really crazy week. Maybe you need it. If you're ready to move on, you're just moving your knees side to side, maybe windshield wipers, reaching out, morning stretch, yawning. Basically just doing whatever comes natural into your own body here and feeling your relaxed body breathing. I know especially right now with what's going on around the world, there is a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, and that does change your breath on a daily basis. So yoga right now I think is more important than ever, even if it's just focusing on your breath and relaxed body breathing. You're just lying down on your back and taking those daily breaths, those relaxed breaths, just to reset the body. Your body does not need any more stress. Doesn't help with the immune system at all. So we want to boost that immune system and breathe deeply and breathe relaxed. Okay, so we're moving out of the pose. You can move around onto your right side. you're ready, you can come up. And thanks so much for joining me. If you're still with me, watch it later, watch it all week. Keep up with your yoga. Stay safe, everyone. Stay healthy. Namaste. Hope to do more live videos, depending on what's happening here. If I'm not in studio, might as well be live. Cheers, everyone.